Are you just gonna dump me here in Port Isolde instead of take me back to the damn hideaway? Alright, time to talk with Vivian, I guess. Guess I can help her find her book after all the cool little lectures that she's given me. Your missive has been delivered to Clive's chambers. Take a look at this new stuff we got from the wall. Unity Accord, signed in Port Isolde by Representatives Rosaria, Dalmecchia, and Sombret. This mutual accord sets the stage for a new agent storm, if not officially, then at least in spirit. Alright, we set up for a new government when we're done. Clive's old sparring sword, salvaged by Torgal in the aftermath of the Ironblood invasion and hidden at Clive's original hideaway, the Rookery, is a reminder of who Clive once was and who he has become, as well as the unbreakable bond between lifelong friends. Right, Vivian. We're playing Indomitable. The song is really good when the piano gets going. I think there's only one song in this game that I dislike, and I'm pretty sure anyone that's been watching this playthrough knows which one it is. The low synth bass song. Just same thing over and over again with like 2 random piano notes interspersed throughout.
Vivian, I read your note, and I'd be happy to help you find the book you're looking for.
Thank you, Clive. But tracking it down will not be easy. Are you sure?
Please. You have always granted me your wisdom and insight whenever I asked. It's only right that I return the favor. Or at least attempt to.
You are too kind. Alas, what I ask of you is rather more trying than delivering the odd lecture. I spoke with Harpocrates to see if he had any inkling as to where another copy might be found, but perhaps it is best that you hear the details from him.
Oh,
If you say so.
my man Harpocrates, huh?
Forgive me, Clive, for asking this of you. But
Fine.
this book, it set me on the path to becoming who I am today. Its importance cannot be overstated.
Fine, don't worry about it. Go talk to Harpocrates. I'm not gonna turn the camera back on since I'm literally just walking 5 feet to talk to and start up another conversation.
There's something...
Did that just spawn in another quest? Oh, that's fine. What we got here? Aiming high and the litany of errors. A lot of fucking green quests right now. Not that I mind, because it's good loot and renown, but...
Ah, Clive, my boy. What a pleasure it is to see you.
Harpocrates. There's something I need to ask you. I've been charged with locating a book called From a Distance.
Then you seek a rare gem indeed. One whose name I had not thought to hear from your lips. You've been talking to Vivian.
Right as always. But she didn't seem keen to tell me very much. I take it she didn't like what you had to say.
And yet I gather it did naught to dissuade her. Clive, if the young professor has tasked you with obtaining a copy, I fear she asks the impossible. The executors would not allow it.
The
They
executors.
can try and stop me, whoever it is.
Coveters of Secrets, a clandestine organization committed to the collection and intenebration of forbidden texts and technologies. One such text being the tome Vivian seeks, chronicling as it does the true history of the enslavement of bearers, a tale which could overturn the established order were it ever to become widely known. Or, so rumor has it. I've never actually read the thing, or even set eyes on it for that matter.
How is it that I haven't heard of this organization?
Why, secrecy. is the Executor's watchword. They lurk in the shadows, emerging only to seize that which must be seized, be it books, inventions, or people, before disappearing again, leaving nary a trace.
Which would explain why Vivian's copy was snatched from her grasp not long after she found it.
By the hand of the Executors, yes.
But what drives them? Self-interest or ideology?
Fine question. Sadly, all that is known of the Executors can be recounted in a single breath. You may just as soon ask me of their origins, numbers, or the identities of their leaders. Any answer I give would be pure speculation.
Then my hunt was doomed from the first. What was Vivian expecting? That I'd pluck it from thin air?
Yeah,
Not from thin air, no. From ash.
Hmm.
Rumors of the Executors are rife among the scholars of Storm, but rather less so across the strait. I have a friend. Well, I had a friend in the village of Garnick, a collector of rare tomes, upon which subject we would oft correspond. Alas, I have heard naught from him since the skies fell dark. And no doubt he too has turned. But though he did not mention it by name, it is possible that a surviving copy of From a Distance yet rests upon one of his many shelves, quietly awaiting discovery. If you were, by some chance, able to save even a single book from the poor man's library, I know his soul would rest easier.
Very well. When I next find myself in Waloed, I'll be sure to pay Garnick a visit.
Alright, let's just head there right now then. Good thing I know exactly where Garnick is. Damn it, no. Here. Still can't go into the Balman Dark, huh? Convenient truth. Yeah, there's gotta be like some kind of super S rank in there.
Fly,
Off we go. Fly, Ambrosia. Show them the meaning of speed.
This might take a while.
Yeah. Okay. Pop off and see what we got here in Garnick. So we built
Thanks, Cal.
we built a new government for Storm after these events are over, but what's gonna happen to Ash? Who's gonna run this
The
place?
entire village looks abandoned. Now, which house would a bookworm live in?
You know better than to say that this place is abandoned. Last time we were here, we had to fight a whole bunch of Akashic. I'm gonna start working that into my combos a little more. Can't see shit, Catton. Real intelligence or training report. In the wake of the tragic fire at Kara Norvent and the hand of the 73 UV, the subsequent depletion of our highly practiced intelligencers, all mainland strongholds were instructed to redouble training in clandestine maneuvers. Improvised weaponry and assassination attempts to dispatch promising volunteers to Stoneher for inspection. Report details progress made by the stronghold at Garnick in reinvigorating Waloed's ranks of esteemed intelligencers.
This is a Royal Army logbook. Did he take this from the local barracks?
Possible. In here. A complete botany of Banes. Either Foe, Tita, or Tail of Wyvern. White of flower and black of root, the latter of which gives out an inky gall when cut or crushed. The tribesmen of Northern Storm prick their skin with oaken needles soaked in such straw and curious patterns about their arms and legs in honor of their heathen gods. The gall is passing intoxicant that a single drop taken by mouth may result in cramps most painful for 5 days and 5 nights, or if applied to a wound, certain death. Should a slip of the needle end a young warrior's life, it is said that his skin print failed to find favor among the heavens. This is This is the stuff that they put into the brands then.
His interests were certainly varied.
Folklorist Fabulary. The Moogle. No spirit or sprite appears more often in Valstian folktales than the humble Moogle. Though they are occasionally painted as mischievous souls akin to pixies or imps, most stories depict them as clumsy yet congenial spirits who delight in helping mankind with their daily labors. They're said to have sweet tooths, leading to the common superstition that one must not leave cakes or other sweetmeats uncovered overnight, lest not remain but crumbs come morning. No, they need Koopa nuts. In appearance, they are described as being covered head to toe in soft white fur, excepting the small dark wings by which they are somehow able to take flight, and the brightly covered pom-poms that protrude from the tops of their heads. And yet, there is one detail regarding the Moogle that most find more remarkable than even the orb that tops its brow: the fact that the creatures actually exist. Preposterous, I hear you cry. Everybody knows that Moogles are the stuff of legend. I quite agree, but every legend has its basis in truth, and in the case of the Moogle, the fact may not be so dissimilar to the fiction. Ancient bestiaries list the white mole whose feet do not touch the ground among the beasts of the realm. The illustration besides the name? Why, it is none other than the Moogle. Of course, it is true that the creatures are not known to still survive in the twins in the modern day. Perhaps their miniature wings carry them to other climes, perhaps they were hunted to extinction, or perhaps, just perhaps, they still do live among us, hidden away far from human view. No nectar. No comment on nectar? Nothing to say? From a distance. Chapter 16, The Fall of the Bears. The emergence of the first magic adepts was widely heralded as a gift from the gods. Indeed, the title with which the gift came to be commonly known as is most likely a contraction of bearer of the heavenly blessing, the wording used by the tribunes of the time. Those born with the blessing were allotted as living crystals, granted high office and plentiful reward for their status as chosen ones. Over the years, this reverence for their kind would become a full-fledged religion led by bearers themselves, a development that would prove fateful. The diverse nations of the time were unanimous in their approval of the founding of the church. While the authorities had for years welcomed bearers into positions of power in their own structures of state, they were mistrusting of an organization led by bearers for bearers. Efforts were immediately made to chasten the church and its followers, banning members from holding office, evicting adherents from their homes, and breaking up meetings by force. The church responded by forming a volunteer army to resist this persecution. And yet it continued, creating a cycle of ever-increasing bloodshed and rancor, and a growing rift between those born with the blessing and those without. What began with beatings and street clashes would eventually spill over into an all-out war that consumed the greater part of the twins for nigh a generation, decimated the population of men and bears both. The deluge of blood stained the land crimson and left an even more lasting mark upon the minds of the Valestian people. After the Bears' last resistance was crushed, the nations of Valestia came together to sign the Continental Accord that initiated the system of slavery that persists across the realm to this day. Its well-known phrase, bearers are other than human, has its roots in the bitter war of the years before, being the unblessed only excuse for their calamitous refusal to allow the blessed to decide their own destiny.
This is it. But if what it says is true, I need to get this back to the hideaway.
I can't fast travel out of here. I guess the executors are gonna come and make a problem.
Leaving so soon, stranger?
Oh.
We've been watching you. From a distance, so to speak.
Subtle. I know who you are.
Then we need not waste time on introductions. Hand me the book. Leave it in our care and return to your life.
Your care? Do you mean to burn it or bury it?
That is not my decision to make. But by one means or another, its contents shall be removed from the common record.
Then I'll have to politely refuse. I won't let you erase our history.
Then we find ourselves at an impasse. Very well. The book can just as easily be pried from your dead hand.
You're welcome to try. I don't think you got what it takes, though. Big axe boy.
Let's see, shall we?
Cool. 3, please.
Let's try. Nice try. Enough.
Oh, getting closer to the big $5,000. You better get out of here if you know what's good for you.
Impressive. But we have other means. We shall claim the book yet.
Why do you want it so badly anyway?
It lays out in no uncertain terms the vanity and avarice of mankind. It tells the shameful history of the persecution and oppression of a gifted few by a giftless many. Would you say that this interpretation was correct?
I don't know.
You don't know. Your sword may be sharp, but your wits are dull.
Fuck off.
So let me answer for you. There is no correct interpretation of history. That a series of events took place may be proved beyond a doubt. But there can be no single, immutable explanation as to why they came to pass. It is a question of numbers and of belief. If enough people believe that a set of events occurred for a reason, that belief becomes the truth.
So you're trying to control the truth?
We are trying to protect people from themselves, from knowledge that would bring them naught but pain. That is all. You may keep the book, for now. The world is small. We shall meet again. Until then.
Wait. Damn it.
Boy, more executor run-ins. Oh boy.
Let's get this back to Vivian. Perhaps she can explain what that was all about.
What is this, like the first of a multi-part quest, or what? Return from a distance to Vivian. God damn it. Keep the, whatchamacallit, camera off, since we're gonna be doing some cutscening with, Vivian here. How much AP do I have? Did I look after that last fight? 200 more, huh? Might want to use that at some point. Flashy as fuck, boy. Vivian?
Vivian. I found it. The book you lost.
The distance. No mention is made as to the name of the author, whether that is because the title page has been lost to time, or because the tome was published anonymously, it's impossible to say.
You found it. Thank you, Clive. Even though I asked this of you, I was not entirely sure it would be possible. I feared the executors had seized every copy.
I met with one of these executors, and I convinced him to let me keep it. He told me something. That the truth is just a matter of collective belief. And that if enough people believe a lie, that lie becomes the truth.
It does. But it also means that the truth is not immutable. That it can be changed. Provided that those who wish to change it can convince enough people that their perspective is the correct one. As the sad history of the bearers proves.
You said that the book inspired you to become a scholar.
It did. Or its author, rather. She was a heretic, you see. A firebrand and a dissenter. A gallows stood ready for her in every corner of the realm. And by shunning society, or perhaps being shunned by it, she stumbled upon a truth so potent that an entire realm trembled at the prospect of its utterance. I, too, have always felt somehow set apart from the world of men. A stranger to my own species. She taught me that my solitude was not a curse, but a gift. And that, though my journey to the truth might be a lonely one, what I found at my destination would be more than worth the cost.
Do you still feel that way? That you're not one of us?
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure anymore. Since coming to the hideaway, I find my thinking somewhat clouded. Perhaps the result of studying mankind from a rather closer perspective than I had intended. But the more I study, the more I find value in this perspective. In looking not from the outside, but from within. So if you'll permit me, I'd like to continue my work here.
Of course.
Remember, Clive, when enough people believe, belief begets truth. Give the men and women of this benighted world the gift of truth. Make them believe in you, as I do.
I'll try, Vivian. I'll try.
Nice. Wonder what's going to happen with the executors now that they've threatened to come back. Scholar's Bonnet. Vivian Itel Scholarly Headwear awarded to her upon graduate and completion of her studies at the University of Canberra. Give the men and women of this benighted world the gift of truth. Make them believe in you, as I do.